I'm Jacob.
I'm Justin.
And I'm Josh.
And this is Grindr Tales. We spent so much time rehearsing that. Welcome to episode 5, everybody.
Yes.
It's a special day. It just so happens to be my co-host Justin's birthday. Happy birthday, my dear.
Thank you. Thank you.
How's it been?
Pretty chill. Haven't done anything aside from nurse a sunburn.
You know, and that's what you get for, you hadn't even started drinking at that pool yet.
I didn't drink at all.
He didn't drink at all.
I had SPF 100.
So, Josh, real question: Did you smell bacon when he came home?
No, actually no.
Did you just call me a fat pig?
No, I'm saying that human meat is the closest thing to pig meat, as any scientist will tell you.
No, I wasn't going to take that as as an insult.
He wasn't that well done.
Okay, but you're not cum pig water sign 67 on Grindr. So we're not going to do that. Anyway, audience, we have a new voice with us today, a very special guest. If you did watch or listen to last week's episode, you'll know that we were going to bring the husband of Justin here on this podcast. Welcome, my good friend Josh.
Thank you.
So Josh, jumping right into it, you kind of came on to the gay scene before Grindr really blew up, yeah?
Why are you trying to make me sound old?
I'm sorry.
This was, I guess, 5 years ago.
Okay, so Grindr had been around, but you told me that you kind of started, a little bit before, or rather, you tried some other things before you tried Grindr.
I was trying to be classy, or I thought I was trying to be classy, and started on Tinder.
Okay,
at least it wasn't Craigslist.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
Right, no, I never did Craigslist.
Did you do Plenty of Fish?
No.
Oh.
Oh, God.
I was like, how are you going to find gay people on Plenty of Fish? But,
Same way you find them on Craigslist?
I was just about to say.
Man for man, looking for connection.
Did you ever find any success with Tinder or anything before you tried Grindr?
I mean, I found my first boyfriend, I guess, on Tinder.
Okay.
Pretty much right away.
I was gonna say...
And we dated for 2 months.
Well, that's good. Look, that's 2 months that you'll never get back, but also, I mean...
Right.
Yeah, but also, I'm sure 2 wonderful, wonderful months. Maybe.
I mean, I enjoyed them. It was my first experience at many things, so...
And there you go. Sometimes you try to stir the pot like me and Justin do, and, you end up burning the shrimp a little bit. Yeah. we making a gumbo.
Ooh, get those sturdies right here.
Yo, sturdies, right? Eat 3 bowls of this, go to church on Sunday. Anyway, so... I'm not editing any of this, by the way. I'm too fucking lazy. I've already decided I'm not gonna edit any of this out.
So we're just gonna... Whatever runtime we go at.
We're gonna get... Correct. Well, I'll probably edit the audio version, but the video, that's a no-go. I ain't got that kind of time, patience, or prayer. So, moving forward, the 3 of us kind of have a connection with your first Grindr experience, as it turns out. And I want to let you know, from the bottom of my heart, that, you're not the only one. We're not the only ones, and actually, I was going to say many, 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 many gay men.
He's the villain on the soap opera Gays of Our Lives.
That is correct. He is the generalissimo in the telenovela about all of the gays in the undisclosed location where we live.
Facts.
Yeah, so... Would you regale us with your experience?
I mean, first Grindr experience was, super nervous. Got to this guy's house. It was probably almost midnight. Got to the guy's house, completely dark. Went into the front door, and I'm like, what? Why is it so dark? He said, shh. I was like, because my family's asleep. And I was like,
No, not
No.
the Walrus.
okay.
Oh, that should have been a red
we
flag.
sneaked to the bedroom.
Was it foggy outside? Were you lit only by the light of the moon?
And I never got a full look at him. It was always in dark.
Be
Darkness.
glad.
Be very
Right?
glad.
So I just really didn't. And then it was just super awkward, and we didn't even actually have sex. It was just
Was it like a
He
mutual
just jerked off at
masturbation?
me.
Oh.
He did what?
he just jerked off at me.
At you.
Why does that sound like
At
an
you.
assault?
Because I was not into it. So I just kind of stood there and I don't.
He's like, well, he's
Until-
here now.
until
God
he
damn
came,
it.
And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go now.
So this man.
And then after that, he kept coming after me, kept messaging me. I kept blocking him. He kept creating new profiles. I kept blocking those.
That tracks for Jeremiah.
That tracks for Jeremiah,
And,
yeah.
I learned later that I was not the only one that he did that to.
Yeah, so, thank God I never have met this man face to face. Not for him begging. Not for him begging. Well, let me rephrase that. I have never intentionally met this man face to face. It's always been in horrible, scary passing. Okay.
Right.
I'm going to keep making Harry Potter references on this show, and that's okay. But you know how in Order of the Phoenix, in the movie, Harry is having these flashes because, he's got part of Voldemort inside of him. And, he keeps, seeing, Voldemort, at the train station or whatever. And he's like, ah! That's how it is.
Out of the corner of
That's
his
how
eye.
that's how it's been with him. It's
No,
been,
it really has. Jeremiah, oh God, predatory behavior at its best. I actually met him in person by the light of a streetlight.
What is with this guy and
Low-
not
If you've never
low
seen
lighting?
him actually
See
face
it.
to face, you'd understand why he
Right.
chooses low lighting.
The
I saw
Exorcist
a
theme is
picture.
playing.
Tubular bells.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about that this whole time.
Because the first time I saw his face, I was like, no. Because the first time I saw his face was a month or two later when one of his blank profiles had messaged me, and I was like, who is this? And he sends a picture, and I'm like,
No.
Fuck.
So the first time and last time that I met Jeremiah, it was that movie theater right by where I work.
Yeah.
So he convinced me somehow to meet up with him. And we're playing in the car. It's midnight.
It's always midnight.
Tubular bells.
Tubular bells. A fog rolling in.
It's not fog. It's just nervous gas. So we're playing around and this, that, and the other, and when I leave, I immediately block him because the topic of this episode is catfishing. Didn't look like his profile pic when he had one. Would not send an updated face pic. And so I was under the mindset of, well, I'm already here. I might as well suck this dude off to get him to leave me alone. So I do. He comes, I leave. And
he comes, you go.
you were right. So a couple days later, he messages me. He's like, hey, and I'm like, goodbye. And I block him. And he does the same thing. My question is how many fucking emails do you have, dude?
Right.
Well,
Creating an email takes time.
Probably just change that last number somewhere.
Well, it's not my story to tell, but he did kind of assault a good friend of mine. But the stories that I can tell are stories of him, similar to y'all, just creating new profiles, back to back to back. Even back when I was back when I was at my heaviest, he would hit me up. This has been something that's been going on for years now.
Yeah.
Years and years. It's a saga. And so back when Tumblr was a thing, I had an
Tumblr.
I had an alt Tumblr. All right, all you children out there, if y'all don't remember the beautiful days when Tumblr was the place to go for your porn, then you're too young to be listening to this podcast. But anyway, so he found out I had an alt Tumblr. He started following me. I was like, yeah, sure, go ahead. Because at this point, I was like, well, he's He's pretty harmless. He just doesn't know how to take a hint. So I start going through his liked and, retweeted content. Well, it's not retweeted on Tumblr. It's shared. Whatever. But either way, so I stumble across posts that are implicit child pornography. So it would be stuff like that would look innocent, like innocent photos of like a child with a grandparent, like, laying in the grass in the field. But then if you read the caption underneath, yeah. And I reported him, and nothing ever came of it. And that was right around the time that, like, the FBI actually cracked down on Tumblr for child pornography. So I guess he kind of, like, slipped through the cracks. But you are part of the reason that we don't have porn on Tumblr anymore. Fuck you.
But if
you creep.
If he wouldn't have, ruined porn on Tumblr, we wouldn't have porn on Twitter.
So now we have a porn on Twitter, which the saga continues. I have an alt Twitter now. If you go to grindertales@gmail.com and send me an email, I will give you access to my alt Twitter. Anyway,
same.
Gotta build. If you like, subscribe, and share, I'll give you my alt Twitter, please. We gotta boost those numbers somehow. Anyway, so I start my alt Twitter. I start getting involved in Twitter Spaces, which, if you don't know what Twitter Spaces are, at this point, just Google them. And anyway, he finds his way on there, and he also has an alt Twitter. And he starts messaging me again, and once again, I don't know who this guy is at first. So I'm like, oh well, he's local. That's really nice. My porn Twitter is starting to blow up. His porn Twitter is starting to blow up, and he's local. That's great. Maybe we can collab or something. As soon as I ask for nudes, I get the same nudes that I'm so used to. That awful POV shot of a cum-drenched belly button.
Oh, that doesn't look good on anyone.
That one angle. Yeah. So anyway, I get those same old familiar nudes, and I know it's him. But I don't know how to, like, do anything about it. And ultimately, like, I've left Twitter Spaces, just because they kind of got... imagine, like, all of the shitty discourse that you see in a Twitter comment section, but, like, now it's people talking over each other. Anyway, so I've left that, but he's still very active on Twitter, and still doing the same shit. Like, he would just pop onto spaces that I was occupying without being, invited or anything like that, interrupt full conversations because he was drunk, and tell me that he wanted to blow my back out, stuff like that. Which is, like, exactly the way, right? Exactly the way that you get somebody in bed with you. But first of all,
it depends on the face.
True, and I'm not waiting for his parents to go on vacation before. I'm not waiting on anyone's parents to go on vacation before we fuck. Okay.
Oh. You know who we're talking about, Josh.
Anyway, so yeah, that's Jeremiah. He is a creep, and if anybody in our area is listening and you know the name and you know who we're talking about, stay away, run. He's gonna create new profiles. Most of them are gonna have like the letter J. J-A-Y, I was gonna say some kind of a bow tie. Also, he's like, okay, he's black, he's bi, and a Trump supporter. So it's he's just, genetic power is just, I don't know what lab they made him in, but they need to get their asset and take it back.
Probably the dumpster that I threw that vomit trash can in the other day.
He was like the first version of whatever it was supposed to be.
Correct.
Abort.
Absolutely. They were like, nope. Too late. It's already escaped.
It's sentient.
It's sentient.
It's out.
It's alive.
No, but on the topic of catfish,
it's really good fried.
It really is. It's just not good online.
True.
So, me and my husband actually have a story for y'all. This happened back in January or February, somewhere in there.
No, it was my birthday.
Oh, it was your birthday.
That was right. I ruined your birthday.
I remember getting this text.
And then the subsequent phone call.
True.
So it was Josh's birthday.
That's the day before my birthday.
It is.
I've just remembered.
And the day after Christmas.
And the day after Christmas.
So we
and my social security number anyway.
So I start messaging this dude. Pics are there. The profile pic is like this big, beefy, just hairy, muscular chest. Bare. The traditional. If y'all know what bara is, the body was right. The arms huge.
For those of us who don't know what that is.
So bara is I want to say Japanese type of bear porn. That is their version of bears.
Big old muscle titties, like
big old
giant arms, big old like bellies.
But look great.
And their dicks are not huge, but they are fat.
And effective.
Yeah.
Fat dick. Hey, it's like me, fat and effective.
Yes.
You're not fat.
You're not fat.
No, so guy sends me face pic, face is there. I'm like, all right, let's fucking do this. So we get to the hotel. We go up to the room, knock on the door.
The guy doesn't even give us the room number until he knows we're up on the floor, the third floor.
That's yeah. So we finally get the room
I was
number.
over here going, what?
Is this some jigsaw shit? Like
When you open the door, we thought so.
The room number yet? He says, "Come to the third floor."
So we get to the door, we knock, he answers it. The only thing accurate about his profile was his height.
And that he was a male.
On his profile, it said he was like 280 pounds, which I could believe with the muscle and, the girth of his body.
No, I mean, we got there and
it was like solid 340.
80 pounds and
multiplied.
Added 100.
So, dude was very large. Our playmates are typically cubs or bears. We typically don't go for thinner guys. Just a sexual attraction to is not there for me.
I mean, y'all have variety. I've seen the variety. I mean,
we have fucked with the colors of the wind.
Yeah, you have Grandma Willow she's not disappointed.
No, she is not.
She's not.
She's waving the military ring. Ooh. So
clean up your cum. This whole hallway smells like cum.
when they leave, it feels like the poltergeist. This house is clean.
This house is clean.
So,
looking into your butt, Carol-Ann, come to the light.
So we get to the hotel room. He's like, "I've got another person on the way." Shows us a pic. Dude is banging. So we're all chit chatting, starting to play around a little bit. The dude gets there. Dude looks terrified.
Yeah.
So y'all all three were like the
victims.
We just stuck around a little too long.
A little. So
like the other guy wanted to go immediately,
but the big dude
was like, "Oh no, stay!" Like he begged him.
More like forced.
And forced him to stay.
Basically, and trigger warning for sexual assault. Basically, forced this kid who was like 23 or 24 to take his dick out. So he could suck it. And I mean, I've had some pretty ugly dudes on mine, and I still get a hard on. But then again, I'm 27 years old.
The wind blows and you get hard.
Right. Yeah.
My eyelash curls. My dick's going right with it. So, kid can't get hard for shit. Like, Josh and I got no boner whatsoever. And that takes a lot of ugly.
Are y'all sitting there like, should we help him?
Yes.
Are you like, let me get this land and just
his dick for a minute, both?
Like,
we played if he would be more comfortable with
and
us.
He responded very well to me and Josh.
Yeah, if it was just us three, I think it would have been
Buddy was, on the dude's dick, just, like, sounding like he had fucking emphysema. And, the kid is literally looking at me and like, "Can you help me?" Like, literally, like, the look of fear on this kid's face. Because all three of us have been catfished at this point.
Yeah.
Like, all three of us have been catfished at this point. So the kid, Josh and I play with the kid I say kid, but he's 24. The guy for a little bit. The guy gets hard. He responds really well.
No, he was 32.
Oh, he was 32. God damn, he looked great for 32. He looked like he was 24.
Well, you know what?
I look like I'm 24 too.
You do. You look like you're 22, baby.
Okay, good.
So, guy responds really well to me and Josh. Actually puts his hand on the back of my head and I'm like, oh, okay. So we're warming up.
Still, there's that presence lurking in the
Because
room.
we're like,
I don't want to say
literal elephant in the room.
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it.
Listen, you were thinking it.
I was thinking it. I'm also thinking that as soon as you walked in the door, you heard oh, and then just a little lizard monkey's like
not Bowser, not the Bowser laugh.
Not Bowser.
I so spit out my
Job of the Hutt.
Job of the Hutt.
Job of the Hutt.
It sounds like the Bowser laugh though.
Jabba.
But it sounds like the Bowser laugh though. So the kid's like, all right, I'm gonna leave. And dude is begging him to stay. He's like, no, stay. He's like, I'm really not comfortable right now. I'm gonna go. I'm like, all right. And Josh and I, at that point, take our cue.
Yeah.
So
watch out for the trap door.
No, after the guy leaves,
he's like, turn out the lights.
Yeah, he says, turn out the lights. And I was like,
so like I'm
standing there by the lamp, so I was like, okay, I won't have to look at you anymore.
I'm rummaging through this guy's genital area trying to find something other than a testicle.
He never took his
other
shirt
than the
off.
lizard monkey.
He never took his shirt off.
He took
his pants off.
He took his shirt off, and I know this because I finally found his dick. It was hard. Now, granted, it was nice.
So let's pause here. Let's pause here for just a second. So like really quick. So the catfishing. Let me like ask quickly. This is the interview podcast for me speaking. So like, were the photos of him at any point, or were these photos of somebody else that he sent you?
These were photos of someone else.
No, they weren't.
No.
Okay, so
Because
the jury's out on this one. Okay.
No, because the tattoos and the pictures that he sent matched the ones on his body.
Okay, well then the pictures were from like
20 years
years
ago.
ago.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, he,
did he even acknowledge?
No.
Did he even
No.
Did not even?
No.
He didn't even be like, oh, I know I don't look like my pictures anymore. I put on a few pounds and I was a few?
So, the guy's like, hey, turn out the lights. He takes his clothes off, and I finally find his dick. It is girthy, but it is being swallowed by said fupa.
I never saw
Hey,
it.
baby. Look.
Those are the surprises. It's like
The
it's like Cracker Box, Cracker Jacks.
You know, whenever you
Life is like a box
you
of
just
chocolate.
push down on it and you just you know. Also, like, look, I'm pretty sure the majority of Americans have a fupa anyway. It just depends on the severity. Sometimes it eats it up. Sometimes it just eats it all the
In
way
this
up.
situation, it was num Pac-Man on a dick. So I go down on this guy, and all of a sudden I feel something hit the back of my fucking head. It was his stomach. He just decided to rest it on the back of my head.
Right. And this is about the time that he lets us in on a little factoid.
No, that was while we were leaving. So I was like,
no, this was before we were left. He was like, so I don't have any lube. And we were like,
the fuck?
America, I'm looking into the camera for help right now. I'm looking. Please, if any of you out there know how to time travel, please make this right. Make this right, please.
Oh, there was no making this right.
So,
because I was like, after that, I was like, what are you expecting us to do with no lube?
So when I felt his stomach hit the back of my head, I was like, you know what? I'm tapping out. I was done. So I was like, hey, you know, I blame everything on him when the hookup doesn't go right because I don't want to feel like the asshole. Hey.
So it's always me.
No, in this particular situation, it was us. This was a team effort. I said, hey.
The feisty ginger is getting an attitude about this. Yeah, no.
I was like, you know, I said, I think we're going to go. We're not really comfortable anymore. This is just, you don't look like your pics. This is just really awkward. So we're leaving.
So how did he respond to that, though? How did he respond to that?
By telling us he was getting a divorce.
He tried to get us to stay.
And then
just started talking, jabbering,
telling us that he went through a divorce. He's got 2 kids.
Yeah, he really needed this.
And he was a trucker.
I thought he told us he was a travel nurse.
He's a trucker.
Some kind of.
No, he was a trucker from Hattiesburg.
I don't know. Maybe I'm getting confused with something else.
You know who I'm talking about. So anywho, we're putting our clothes on, and this is when he starts letting loose with the verbal diarrhea of, I just recently went through a divorce, told my ex-wife that I was gay, I really need to do this, and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, just, the asshole kicks. I'm like, yeah, that's great, dude. And I'm like throwing clothes on at this point. If you've ever seen Wizards of Waverly Place, have you ever seen Selena Gomez's character change clothes in that show? She's like,
no.
Swish and flick, and she's changed her clothes.
As fast as his clothes came off, they went
right back on.
It was like one of those reverse shots.
Time lapsing. So he we get our clothes on, he's steadily talking, and yeah, no. Before we got out of the parking lot, because I was about to report this motherfucker for catfishing, blocks me.
Because he knew.
He knew.
He knew.
You know, catfish can smell
That's
fear.
the trouble.
They can with their whiskers.
But oh, can I have another tea?
Yeah, absolutely.
Surprise me.
We're doing a variety pack tonight, everybody.
We love variety.
Because it's a special someone's birthday.
No, but like honestly, aside from Jeremiah, that was the worst instance of fucking catfishing.
Right, like on my birthday.
I can handle like a certain level
I was
of
traumatized.
like. So like Josh and I played with a guy the other night. He sent us a couple of pictures. I wouldn't classify it as catfishing because he gained a little weight. But in the pictures that he sent us, he was very, very thin. You know, whatever. But when he came over, Buddy had some weight to him, and it was great.
Yeah.
Had a little belly going, you know, almost Bara style. And not quite there, just a tiny little Bara.
Okay.
And like I said, that's why I wouldn't classify it as catfishing, because he looked like he did in the face pic, just a little fuller in the face.
Okay.
And this dude, no. He was a catfish swimming in the bottom of Mississippi.
He got muddy. Tell you what.
Which one are you talking about?
Matt.
Oh.
There it is.
There it is, everybody. There it is.
I was trying to bring my mind back to what he was giving us a good example of a catfish gone right.
Well, you know, and here's the thing.
You don't look like your pictures, but okay.
Here's the thing, everybody. You know, I am very conscious about the pictures that I post on my profile.
Yeah.
I post lots and lots of photos because, I mean, you know, source material. Make sure that I cover my bases. Updated. I update them. I update them pretty much every other month.
Update your pictures.
Absolutely.
Update your pictures.
Update your pictures, America. Update your pictures.
Because if you don't, I'm sending the ginger.
And that's the thing.
Yeah,
you don't want to deal with.
I'll sit there and analyze the photo, and be like, "This is grainy. This is from the '90s."
So
CSI homosexual.
You don't remember the 90s. You were born like in 1998. Anyway, so
right.
So anyway, I always ask my friends. I'm always like, I'll always pass my phone around. I haven't done this with y'all yet, but it will happen whenever I, you know, start cultivating new material. But like, you know, I'm like, does this look like me? Like, whenever you see me up close, like, is this the same person? Like, does this capture my essence? You know, stuff like that, you know.
Is this in any way?
It's like, I was going to say, could anybody, would you be fooled? If I showed you this picture of me and you saw me in real life, would you be fooled by this? Because you know what? It's an awful feeling to get catfished.
It is.
And it's an awful, and it's, the thing is, like, it's morally bankrupt to catfish people.
And I'm already poor.
Right.
Well, moral.
Baby. Same.
Morally poor.
We're all morally poor here, but catfishing is one crime we will not commit. Until I'm like too old, because then, baby,
You're like, we're gonna go out to the archives.
We're gonna
use this.
We're gonna get the fillers. We're gonna get the pump.
We're
gonna get the face.
I like this.
On the note of catfishing, though, you know, with phones the way they are now, you know,
yeah, you could put
editing.
a filter on
filters.
it,
I was gonna say editing and stuff like that.
That's the same thing.
I was gonna say, you know, recently, this is not.
I wouldn't consider
It's dishonest, though. It's not being.
So, okay, so I'm gonna put it this way. Having
not
makeup on and
catfishing.
putting on a filter, what's the difference? It's not catfishing.
I mean, no, but you can filter other things.
And you can wear makeup in real life. You can't wear a filter
Right.
in real life as well.
That's the difference.
This is true.
You guys recently actually had a person who made a lot of promises to y'all about coming to visit y'all. I believe he was a trucker, and the photos that we saw were
Immaculate.
very hot.
Oh.
But even then, like, we were talking about, like, y'all would show me photos and you'd be like, this is Photoshop
This
to you?
guy texted us for a week.
You know, we would zoom in and, like, you could see, you know, a little bit of where, like, he had, like, angled things a certain, you know what I mean? Like, he had, like,
He used angles to his
I was
advantage.
gonna say.
Well, the
They
thing
were-
is that
they
he
were
also
touched up pictures.
Well,
They
he
touched.
also sent me pictures of him holding his newborn niece, and he looked the exact same.
You can still edit. I would edit pictures
I mean-
if I wanted to. I would
I mean,
edit
it had
pictures.
it had a filter on it, like
I can handle a
iPhone has
filter.
portrait mode because the background was like.
Oh,
blurred out.
I mean, here's the thing. Portrait mode is fine. Portrait mode just literally blurs out the background
Yeah.
and like sharpens the foreground. That's fine. I use portrait mode for everything. I love.
I
Portrait
can handle.
mode.
I would, like I said, I wouldn't necessarily call catfishing. I'm not catfishing. Filtering a catfish tactic, unless it's like heavily edited, Photoshop
Yeah, I mean,
filtered, like Instagram filtering, like the way the girls, you know, will do certain things with their editing.
Their nose disappears,
Right. You don't want them to believe you have nostrils. Guys hate that.
and they no longer have skin. It's just a blur with eyes on it.
Recently, this guy is still on my Snapchat. He'll still message me every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
He's nice. Don't get me wrong. But he is a catfish.
Sleeping
He is-
personality, not sleeping beauty. Got it.
Absolutely,
Nice
absolutely.
cat.
So, no, the thing is, he uses much older photos. Much older photos. And, like, the thing is, for me, y'all, you know, when I put the versatile finally put the versatile label on my Grindr, I started getting a new kind of audience and a new kind of people that would hit me up because, you know, I remember being an exclusive bottom. As soon as I saw versatile, I was like,
It
top.
opens
They're gonna
up
top me.
much.
You know what I mean? So, you know, I started getting people that were more bottoms than anything else. I'm not gonna say too many negative things about this person. Because he's nice and he may hear this episode. But the thing is, you know, I already had like reservations because I'm not too terribly into twinkie guys. You know, blonde hair, you know, skinny, you know, everything like that. It's not normally my thing. You know,
boy.
yeah, pretty boys. You know, I don't necessarily have a preference. You know, this guy, you know, he kind of hit me up a couple of times and made me feel bad every time I had to cancel plans. So I was like, you know, at this time, I'm just kind of like
Bite the bullet.
I'm gonna bite the bullet. I'm gonna invite him over. Yeah. So he came over while me and my roommate's boyfriend were playing Super Smash Brothers.
Wait, do we know this person?
Yes. So I answered the door. Open it up. This man is the same person that was in the photos that I received, but things had changed. Things had definitely changed. Things had changed. Changes. Hashtag big mouth. Hashtag bubble bias. Anyway.
Don't worry, you around.
Listen to Lana Del Rey till we cry. Anyway, so cry so hard it don't make noise. Anyway, to tell you, I'm just gonna make an analogy here. He's not really good at Super Smash Brothers. That's fine, you know. But the character he chose was Jigglypuff. That's all I'm gonna say. Sit with that. Sit with that. A twink, a catfish twink choosing Jigglypuff. Very, very much to think about. Audience, if you have questions, concerns, or comments, send a message to not Out in the Woods. Wow, that's my other podcast. Wow, you can. I was gonna say you can send them to outintthewoods@gmail.com. Just use Grindr Tales in the inbox. Yes. I am gonna do a crossover episode with you too, by the way. But
yes.
Anyway, he chose Jigglypuff, and
indicative of being a bottom.
Indicative of just him.
I can't put my finger on who it might be.
I'll tell you whenever we're done recording. Anyway, so we go back to the bedroom, and I'm weighing my options because
I think I know who it is.
Because I still see that, you know, I empathize with people. I'm a huge empath. Everybody out there, it's bad to be an empath on Grindr because you don't want to make people feel bad when they're there in the moment, you know?
Yeah.
And so
for some reason you have to be nice about it.
I'm weighing my options.
You do?
You can't just be... Not everyone is an asshole like you.
Yeah. Not everyone's a fucking cat, Justin. Meow. Anyway.
Like, some of us are polite about it. You know, I'm just not feeling this. Whereas he would say, fuck no.
Right, like,
yeah.
Why you so ugly? No, I'm just kidding. But
why you smell like that?
Why you smell like
right.
that? As per last episode's, dude, you smell like shit.
Do you smell that?
So anyway.
He did not take bubble baths.
No.
So I just, you know, I did the thing, I got it over with, and that's that story. He still hits me up to this day. We're gonna just be friends. If you're out there listening, let's just be friends, honey. Let's just be friends. We're not getting the dick out again. Because every time, I have a thing for nipples, y'all. I do love to put my mouth on nipples. I don't know what it is. I love titties. I love nips. And every time I did, he was very much a porn star bottom, where he would go, oh
no, now you have to leave.
And y'all, it was so...
I made dudes leave for less, but that's an easy ticket out the door.
We would be in the middle of it, and a guy would do that sound, and Justin would be like...
It's akin to... And the thing is, it's akin to waiting on a table that has a screaming baby. You are uncomfortable, and you're just trying to pretend like you don't hear it. You're just taking their order while this baby is, like, crying and screaming. You're just like, oh, yeah, can I get that again? Yeah, oh, you want fries? Okay, yeah. Except this time you're doing sex, and they are and you're trying to get past
it. Sound like that, the noises you just made sounds like an Asian porn star bottom.
I was just about to say it was very hentai. It was very hentai. Very hentai. So yeah, you know,
we're using a bunch of words that Josh doesn't know.
I mean, hey, you know,
I know what that is. Thank you very much.
Josh is a perv just like the two of us, anyway. Yeah, no, it was instead of the Mississippi catfish, this was more like the Korean catfish, I guess.
Oh yeah,
oh yeah.
Daddy.
I feel like y'all have probably been catfished more than I have.
Probably.
Do any more stories come to mind for y'all?
Half the time we just kind of go with it.
Really?
We don't abort.
So I'm not alone.
But
okay, so
and then
like that one guy that made it look like he had an ass.
Oh my!
Okay, now wait a minute. Body part catfishing is not the same to me. It's not the same.
Yeah,
I mean, there have been times whenever
adjacent.
I was gonna say, there have been times when a dude has made his dick look bigger than it. Although,
Filters.
y'all, there is this guy, love him to death, can't wait to get back with him. We chat on the reg, he's great. The nudes that he sent me, chef's kiss. Absolute chef's kiss. And I looked at his dick and I was like, you know what? That is not too big, and that is not too small. That is
Come on,
manageable.
Goldilocks.
I was gonna say that is a manageable penis.
Goldilocks.
I love it.
Dick.
Let's go for it. He shows up to my place, and he's fully erect. He pulls down his pants. That thing is like, just like pop, and I'm like,
Who is this?
I'll tell you. I will tell you after. I will tell you after we are done recording.
Yes.
Anyway, like, and thank God he wanted to bottom. Thank God, because Lord knows I was cleaned out, but I was not prepared for it to go past the
Your fucking belly button.
the 20-second sphincter. Yeah, like, I was not ready for
3
that.
strokes and
It was like a bear penis. Like, it was huge. So yeah, in that way, sometimes catfishing can be a positive thing, I guess, if you from a certain perspective.
Well, no. So what Josh is talking about is it wasn't just body part catfishing. Like, his face didn't look like the guy knew his angles.
Yeah, he just
Like, he used angles to his advantage. And so the guy comes over, and when I tell you, this dude looked like lumpy space princess from a waist.
Justin's standing in front of him. They're kind of going at it, and I'm behind him taking my clothes off. And this guy drops his pants, and I was like,
Where'd he go?
where did the ass go? Like, it just goes.
And so if you fell off, if his shoulders were a cliff and you fell off, you would fall straight to your death.
Right. There's nothing there to get you.
There was nothing to eat.
Like, it just went.
Nothing to eat.
Baby, that's why I'm open and honest about it. I'm like, come get your flapjacks, baby.
Not the flapjack.
Come on, get your flapjacks, baby. No, audience, don't worry. Like, it's there. It's there. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. I haven't had any complaints thus far. But anyway,
No, because everybody likes pancakes.
exactly. Look, call me IHOP, baby.
Because I'll hop right over.
I'll hop right on it. No, so this is a non-Grindr story, but on the note of catfishing, and just like this is like the real mental health side effects of being catfished. I had a friend who got hit up by this guy. She matched with him on Tinder.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy was hot.
I thought we were being classy.
He was hot as fuck.
Yeah.
And so, the whole time, she just felt like she already had her suspicions just because she has low self-esteem. Katya, I want you to know you are gorgeous. You are worthy of love, and I'm glad that you finally found a man that's going to treat you right, and that you are just living your best life right now. I love you, my goddess, my queen. Anyway, so this guy, like, calls her every night, they talk all the time, but every time she wants to FaceTime, there's a convenient excuse.
Like, my camera screen is cracked.
So, finally, one night, like, she's just had enough. And she's like, dude, are you catfishing me? And that's when he finally, like, reveals to her, like, he FaceTimes her, y'all.
Oh, how bad was that?
So, Jonah Hill, shaved bald. And
Uncle Jerry? Is that you?
And left out of this, no sunlight whatsoever.
So my color. Okay.
So, all of the photos and videos that he sent her, he was bisexual. All of the photos and videos that he sent her were of a dude that he was with years ago that broke up with him because he was too obsessive.
She okay now?
Oh, she's got a whole man. She's got a comedy career. She's fantastic. She's got a whole man, and he's real, and he is in the flesh, and he gives her everything she needs. So look, I mean, she had her happy ending. I don't know where this catfish is now, but I will never forget the night that I came home from work. She was my upstairs neighbor at the time. I walked upstairs, and my friend Ezra came out, and he was like, they were like, hey, just give Katya some space right now. She was devastated for like a month.
Aww.
Oh yeah. Well, how could you not be? Like, they had been talking for a long time.
Right.
They had like planned stuff. I mean, they had even like when she really started to suspect it was whenever he made plans to come and visit her, and then he canceled them last minute. And then she was like, well, like, I can get time off and come see you. And he just kind of, like...
Brushed it off?
Yeah, brushed it off.
Oh, that's fucked. As our friend Will would say, get fucked.
Get fucked. Get fucked. I'm sorry, I'm trying to do a Will impression. Anyway. Yeah, no. So, if any of you out there who are listening are guilty of catfishing on Grindr...
Stop it!
Stop it. Stop it. You don't know what kind of damage you're actually doing. And we mentioned this in the last time we talked about Catfish, whenever we were talking about Great Value Johnny Depp, that turned out to be Great Value Leslie Jordan.
Dollar store brand.
Dollar store brand, Dollar Tree Leslie Jordan.
Not even Great Value. Great Value is better than
what
we got.
So,
You pay 50 cents, $9.99.
Did he? So y'all said that he didn't want y'all talking about the sex dungeon.
No. So what he said is he didn't want us. He is a person of the community, and people know him. He did not want us talking. If we used his name in a conversation, not to mention the sex dungeon, because he didn't want his house to become a flop house. Sir, it can't be a flop house if it looks like a dumpster.
Baby.
No one would make it past the front door if they got to look at you.
And look, here's the thing. We have
short, fat Nosferatu. I want to suck your blood.
I want to suck your dick. Anyway,
No, sir.
No, so
Get out of the house, mister.
So there are a lot of men with audacity on Grindr, and here's the thing. Once again, y'all, you don't have to catfish. Literally, unless your life is in danger, use your real fucking pics, baby. Use your real fucking pics. There are log cabin Republicans in our area that use fucking pics. Log cabin Republicans with money.
You'll get a lot more people interested in you, and actually, you'll get a lot more action if you're honest.
Absolutely.
Because, if you're catfishing, the person will get there and be like, take one look and be like, no. And that'll just be what happens.
If they have self-respect, they'll take one look and go no. Otherwise, you are definitely getting into some territory that is really negative whenever you have to coax somebody into fucking you.
I think they a couple 5 or 6 years ago or so, they started classifying catfishing as assault.
I mean, I think once I think once the documentary came out that actually coined the term catfishing, that was whenever it really became something that the government would look into,
Right. Because you can use catfishing to do cyberbullying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
We're gonna turn the shoe on the other foot and cyberbully catfish.
Cue the cats and the goblins.
Goblins, spiders,
bears. Oh my.
Oh my. So do y'all have any more catfishing stories?
Not really. I mean, luckily it hasn't been too bad in the realm of catfish.
Yeah, those are the extreme degrees that we've had. Like I said, there have been other instances where
Like, I mean, I got basically
It was-
catfished by my ex, but he fucked me good.
Yeah, you know, it just
Once.
turned, you know, it just
Just
turned
once.
out to be just a
And then I went and got Taco
hook
Bell.
up, and we never see him again.
So
Because-
yeah. Now wait a minute. You got catfished by your ex. Please tell me more.
Okay, so late night, parents are out of town.
Oh.
I did not host.
Ugh.
My mom's the type of person that has cameras in the house.
Same. Okay, so
So we learned that the
yeah. Well, listen to last episode if you want to find out.
So he hits me up, and I'm like, okay, he's pretty cute. You know, the profile pic name is Nick, and pictures of a guy, you know, a very well dressed businessman in a bar with, you know, slicked back hair. Okay, Latino guy, which I'm here for it. Love Latino men.
Mm-hmm.
You can ask my husband. So
Not Latino, but okay.
So I hit him up. He responds. He's like, "Do you want to fuck?" And I'm like, "Sure, why not?" Like, we don't exchange nudes or anything like that. I just go over and hope for the best. So I get there. This dude's about 40 pounds bigger, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but his face looks older. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I guess I can deal with it. And then he pulls his dick out, and I was like, yeah, I can deal with this.
Yes, digmatized.
Dick Matwise. So
How many months did you stay with him?
5 months.
Do you see the power of the digmatization?
Well, I'm getting to that. So we fuck, and I mean, it was great. We went at it for 2 hours, and you know, he came, I came, I went to Taco Bell, went home and ate, and he's like, "Do you want to come back and go it again?" And I'm like, I just ate Taco Bell. So
Right.
I just ate Taco Bell.
Are you ready to unleash the brown waterfall? Like, come on now.
So I go over, you know, we try to go at it again, and I'm like, "Oh no, I'm still a little sore. You went a little rough on me," and I'm like, I was here for it though. I was like, "Ooh," and make America gape again.
Not gape again.
So we ended up spending the night together, cuddled up. You know, I wound up spending the weekend with him, and you know, got to know him. Really nice guy. Well, come to find out, he was obsessive. Like, I worked at Buffalo Wild Wings at the time. And
Not B-dubs.
B-dubs.
Not B-dubs.
So I was working at Buffalo at the time, and that was his favorite place. So he would, after fucking work, every day, he would come in, get a beer, tip me $10, and I was like, all right, bet. So there was one instance where I had accidentally left my phone on the table, and motherfucker starts going through it. And he and I had agreed that, you know, we were just going to be, you know, mutually exclusive fuck buddies, you know, whatever.
Fuck buddies and mutual. Let me tell y'all something. And Justin, you know, we can have this conversation after the episode, but I don't believe that mutual exclusivity and fuck buddies work. I just don't.
Well, that's that's what we were looking for,
Yeah.
you know, for STDs and stuff.
I've been over this.
Well, I was also single at the time.
Yeah.
So was he. He wasn't looking for a relationship, neither was I. You know, we just wanted to fuck. So he goes through my phone and goes through my Grindr and everything, and he's like, "Oh, I thought you'd be talking to other guys and this, that, and the other." I said, "No, I'm not talking to." I said, "I'm not fucking anybody else. I'm just chatting online or whatever." And he's like, "Well, do you want to go out with me?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not? Oh, why the fuck not?" That should have been a red flag. It was not. What also should have been a red flag was his actual name. Narciso.
We're all gonna look at the camera on that one. Narciso! Alright. Anyway.
Well, so I talked to his mother, and she derived his name from the Greek goddess Narcissus, which is also where we get the term narcissist. Of which he was a narcissist. And so couple
Hence why he used more flattering photos of himself.
Mm-hmm. So
which he probably believed he probably still looked the same as those photos. He probably didn't know. And he was a catfish.
So we dated for a month. His roommate kicks him out. And unbeknownst to me, it was because he wasn't paying rent. Hadn't paid rent on time in months. If he paid rent at all. So my mom was like, well, why don't you move in with us? You know, we can pay rent here, so on and so forth. Well, it started coming to the light that the reason he got kicked out was he wasn't paying rent at all.
Mm.
And, I mean, Buddy was when I say a narcissist, this motherfucker gaslit me repeatedly. Guilt trip. After 5 months of dating, tried to marry me.
That's a big no.
So, luckily my mother saw through his bullshit and everything like that and kind of stopped everything from happening, because I was wrapped up in it.
Mm-hmm.
He would buy me gifts, you know, spoil me, this, that, and the other, because he knew how to get to people. And
He's a narcissist.
well, the thing is, though, is he started getting really pissed off and angry when I wouldn't sleep with him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is going to tie into the last episode. I wouldn't sleep with him because unbeknownst to me, had poor hygiene.
Oh.
We were both restaurant workers. He would go days without showering. He would take his underwear off, and I'm like, bitch, you smell like you got gonorrhea.
First of all, as a restaurant worker, part of the way that I make my tips is because I presentability. I don't know if you can
smell nice.
I was gonna say if you
really
can't,
nice.
if you can't see the cologne collection by my lava lamps, I have various scents back there that I like to put on fresh out the shower, because if I'm gonna present myself, once again, like I said in the last episode, I don't want somebody remembering me because I smelled bad or
Right.
I looked dirty, you know.
Well, so we're still dating. My mom kicks him out because he's not paying rent. I'm like, dude, you can't fucking stay here anymore. So he moves in with some coworkers of mine, and they start complaining to the point, like, their house was immaculate. And I mean immaculate. Jamaican women, their houses are always fucking immaculate.
This is true. Shout out to Jamaican women everywhere.
Absolutely. So one night, I get a text message from a coworker. She's like, you gotta fucking come get him. I said, what's going on? He's like, well, he's causing fights between me and my sister. He's not cleaning up. He's not taking showers. I said, y'all can keep him. We broke up. When we broke up, when I broke up with him, he got me fired from my job. Said I created a hostile work environment. So I showed him what hostility looked like. I tried to have him deported.
I said I wasn't gonna edit, but I don't know now.
Well, no. And I used that to my advantage, knowing that he had a hit and run charge. No, not a hit and run, a DUI.
Mm.
Warrant out for his arrest. He got me fired from my job, messed up. And the restaurant that I was working at is downtown, the new hotel.
Okay.
I was making $5,000 a month
Goddamn.
in tips.
Goddamn.
This man messed that up for me. I went from making $5,000 a month to making $2,000. So I was like, you know what? Fuck this. If you want to play dirty, let's play dirty. Because I found out that he was fucking all the hospitality managers. Every one of them. So I called the police department of my hometown. Told them where to find him. They rolled up. They picked him up. He got terminated on the spot. And then apparently, from when I ran into the old coworker several years ago, turns out he had met this lizard-looking dude from Mexico. They were both Hispanic.
I was about to say, Steve Buscemi? No.
No, she showed me pictures of the dude. Dude was, she was like, he downgraded. So
It's what is it? Sid from Monsters Inc., the lizard guy that can turn invisible? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, turns out he actually got arrested in Louisiana.
All the way in Louisiana?
Well, let me tell you the story. So, a little bit of off-topic story here from narcissism and catfishing. Because I think those two go hand in hand.
They do.
So him and the guy that he's dating, or whatever the case may be now, I don't really care. Guy's grandmother was coming into the States to visit. She is an illegal immigrant. Well, she had, I guess, a green card for about a week. The temporaries.
Right.
So
we've all seen 90 Day Fiancé. Keep going.
So she apparently had stayed here for 3 months. Visa expired, everything. She was planning on staying here. Well, something happened with some of her other kids back home. So my ex, his boyfriend, and the grandmother are driving from Jackson to Mexico. They get stopped in Louisiana because he'd been drinking. She got deported. He got deported. Boyfriend got deported. I had nothing to do with that one, though.
So, I think we can end the episode on this.
Oh, yeah.
Karma is a bitch, and catfish out there are accruing very negative karma.
Facts.
Very, very negative karma. The truth is out there. The truth will out.
Why did we just sound like a conspiracy theory podcast?
Because I said the truth is out there, which is definitely an X-Files reference. Thank you very much.
All right, Scully.
Can I please be Dana Scully? Can I please be
I'm
Gillian?
I'm Dana.
You are. You're Gillian Anderson. I will be David Duchovny. Anyway, I am. Well, no, you're gonna be David Duchovny because you are a sex addict. But we're both sex addicts. You know what? We're gonna be
the proper term and the more polite verbiage of that is whore.
I made this in the most polite.
Addiction makes it sound aggressive.
You would make like one of the lone gunmen.
Yes,
that's who
for sure. No, absolutely. I 100%. Thank you. You know what? This is a sidebar. This has nothing to do with the episode, but I actually have 2 little spin-off comic books. They did like a series with the lone gunmen in comic book form.
They had like one season of their own TV show too.
So there's a comic. So I have the lone gunmen meet the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in comic book form, and I have the lone gunmen meet the Crow in comic book form. So I'll have to find those and show those to you. Anyway,
I would love to see those.
Anyway, so yeah, if you're out there and you're catfishing, please, for the love of God, just fucking stop. And also, personally, this is just coming from me. Borders are bullshit. This is all one planet. We all legitimately we should just be worrying about keeping the planet alive as opposed to keeping people in and out of countries. But that's neither here nor there. Do we have any last notes on this very special episode of Grindr Tales with our first guest?
No, this is so exciting.
I'm so honored.
How do you feel?
I love it. I like being on here.
We might
I hope you guys have me back.
I was gonna say we might have to have you back more.
Will I be a recurring guest star?
You just might be.
Oh my god, with his own story arc?
Oh my, a whole story arc.
Not a story arc.
Do you want to be the villain or do you want to be a hero?
No, I'm the villain. We all know
the
that.
anti-hero. No,
Yes.
I would probably be the hero.
Absolutely.
I'm too nice to be a villain.
Absolutely.
We all know this.
That's why we work. That's exactly why we work.
It's yin and yang.
I try to be the villain, but it doesn't happen.
So everybody, thank you so much for tuning in once again to Grindr Tales. We love you so much, and we can't wait to see you in the next chapter.
Yes. Y'all have a great night.
Thanks for tuning in to Grindr Tales, hosted by Jacob and Justin. Original theme song by Jacob. If you're listening on your favorite podcast platform, go ahead and rate, review, and subscribe. We promise not to be as pushy as some of the dudes in our inbox. If you're on YouTube, subscribe and hit that notification bell, like the video, and leave a comment. Even if it is nasty, oh, we're used to it by now. Share Grindr Tales with everyone you know, but your mom. Unless she's cool. Follow us on Instagram at GrinderTales_podcast, or join the Grindr Tales Facebook group to share your own dating app blunders. If you have a question, want to be on the show, or just want to tell us how much you love us, send an email with your name and preferred pronouns to grindertales@gmail.com. Unsolicited nudes are not a requirement or a preference, but if you're feeling frisky, shoot your shot. See you next time, only on Grindr Tales.